Salam Bantu family. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mikhael Massa. We want to talk about the Bantu Shona. You're welcome. Kimbo Kimbo na Tatanzambi ya Mazulu. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, do it, so you will not miss anything that we are sharing. Now, brothers and sisters, you know that we are searching for the truth, because we scattered to the four corners of the earth, and Tatanzambi told us that he will let us forget who we were, but he said that we will come to remembrance one day, and he will take us from the house of bondage and bring us back to the promised land. Hallelujah. And that's why we want to know every single thing about us, about our forefathers, about other family members and tribes. And if you do want to learn, then you are here in this channel in the right place. Now, let us start. Masina comes from the Hebrew word marzena, Anon, one of the 7 Persian princes who had permission to see the king. In Isaiah 1:14. Okay, you will find Masina, a Persian prince. The name Masina is from the Yemen through Mali, Ivory Coast, the 2 Congos to the border of South Africa and Zimbabwe. The 2 Congos here are Congo Brazzaville and Congo Yankati, Zaire. So we will talk about Zimbabwe and the Shona people. Welcome, brothers and sisters. My name is Mikhael Massa. The Congo spirit is here. Let us learn together, family, about other brothers. Now, Zimbabwe. Zimba. Now, Zimbabwe is a landlocked country in the southern Africa, known for its dramatic landscape and diverse wildlife. Much of it within parks, reserve and safari areas. on the Zambezi River, Victoria Falls, make a thundering 100-meter drop into narrow Batoka Gorge, where there whitewater rafting and bungee jumping. Downstream are Matusanda and Mana Pools National Parks, home to hippos, rhinos, and bird life. This means this is ancient Israel. This is that what they won't tell you here on Wikipedia. Wheelhorns, hippos, you will find them also in the scriptures. And the Zambezi River, Zambezi, Zimbabwe, Zambi. Zambioeto, the house of exile. Banabeto, the children of the house. Zimbabwe is Israel. Zimbabwe is Israel, and it has waterfalls. Let me show you Zimbabwe. You see, amazing. You see, this is how the paradise should look like. This is how the valley should look like. Okay, this is that what Tatanzambi say if he say that your house should be full of valleys. Look at the Zimbabwean waterfalls. You won't believe that this is one country. You won't believe that. Amazing. This is Zimbabwe. Amazing, amazing. Okay. Now, let us find out if the scriptures also showing us that this is the real Israel. Some updates. Some prophetic updates, by the way. We will see in 2021, end of 2020, a lot of people waking up and searching for Tatanzambi. Many Gentiles. We black people, we love Tatanzambi from the first time on. But if I say a lot of people, I'm talking also about the Gentiles. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 8 and 7. Deuteronomy 8 and 7. For Tatanzambi Mpungu is bringing you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and springs flowing out the valleys and hills. You see? So, it's not the Middle East, right? It is not the Middle East, right? You see? And you see, this is an amazing. Let us go to Genesis. Let us go to Genesis. Another precept. Genesis 3 and 8. And they heard the sound of Tatanzambi walking in the garden. Oh, it's It's not Genesis, it's Exodus. I was like, huh? Okay, now. And I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, Hittites, Ammonites, etc., etc. So, to a large land, a good land, you see? You see? King James Version. Here. Now, who are the Shonas? The Shonas from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, this word comes from the language of the south coast of Zaire and means stone house. So let us go to Zimbabwe. Ancient Zimbabwe. Our fathers came from the Middle East, from Egypta, Kemet, and they went down to the great Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Southern Africa, Angola, you see, Congo, you see, and this is the Bantu migration. That's why you have the Lemba there, you know. And this was our buildings. The same buildings you see here, these are also the same buildings we have built our houses in the Middle East and everywhere where we was before. Okay? This proves that our forefathers, they have built houses, stone houses, before the white man. This is history, and we can prove it easily. Now, cities. Harar comes from the Hebrew word Harar, epithet applied to several heroes of Dawidi. It is noted that Lusaka and Harar are two close capitals, as Saka and Harar are brothers in Jewish history, which is not a coincidence. This is the Blue Letter Bible. If you put the name Harar, it will give you this one here, and you will find this Harar in the 2 Samuel 23, 11 to 33, 1 Chronicles 11, 34 to 35. See Sar, Hara, or Harari, you see, and you will find this one here. So, who dwells in the mountains? This is what it means. It's a city, and you will see it has also a meaning. And sometimes also it comes from the people, you know, someone's name and later become the name of a city or a street or even tribes. An inhabitant or descendants of Harar may be only a mountaineer. Hannibal of Harar, one of David's heroes. Shammah of Harar, one of the heroes of Dawidi. Saka of Hara, father of Ahiam, one of the heroes of David. Now let us do this. Sidi Hara, Zimbabwe. See? So, these are our proofs that the Bible is showing us easily who we are. You can't say, oh, Germany, city from Germany, city from America, and you will find it in the scriptures. No way. Now, we have another city, Limpopo, river separating Zimbabwe and South Africa. This name also that of the river Zaire, at the level of its capital Kinshasa. Limpopo River. Then in Zambia, yeah, because we are talking about Zimbabwe, we have Mozambique. Zambia is always everywhere inside there. That's why I wanted also to show you something in Zambia. During colonization, Zambia and Zimbabwe were the same country and were called Rhodesia. Now, let us check Rhodesia. Rhodesia was the same country, Zimbabwe and Zambia. And Zambia is the name that is always inside. You see Rhodesia. Zambia, Rhodesia, so this was this area here. That's why you have always Zambia inside of these names here. It's amazing. You see the white people killing and colonizing us because they know these are the ancient Israelites. Rhodesia comes from the Hebrew word Rhodes, or road, island of the Mediterranean, measuring 72 kilometers long and 32 kilometers wide, known in the Middle Ages by the apostles of Isaiah, Act 12, 13 to 16. Zambi probably comes from the Hebrew word Zabne, see Mozambique. Hallelujah! We have started this and everyone is shouting already. Now, Sika is the virtuous, polite, and moral way of the behaving in accordance to the Shona cultural standard. This is something like Nganga of the Shona. This involves being respectful to elders, obedience to parents and figures of authority, having self-control and patience, as well as observing cultural customs and the social structures in place. Often there is a strong emphasis on communal values, warmth, prudence, and considerate behavior. The Shona see Tika as something one learns and develops in adolescence to eventually foster the self-control. Someone who has been taught and raised well to have good manners is said to have Hunhu in Shona or Ubuntu in Bendele. Hunhu and Ubuntu cannot be accurately translated into English, but they mean something similar to the essence of humanity, humanness. Hallelujah. Now, the Shona Israelites, by oral traditions, the ancestors of this people were led by bright, shining star from the Middle East. Hallelujah! That's why you see always a star on my channel. Okay? You could see that in the time of the Mashiach, Isaiah, he was born. You could see that they followed what? A cross? They followed what? The moon? The sun? No, they followed the star. That's why you see in many countries maps or flags, stars. And our star is the Atagon star, the star of Alva. By oral traditions, the ancestors of this people were led by bright shining star from the Middle East. We came from there, and that's why these people followed us. They say the Israelite went out from here black and came back white. We went out from the Middle East, Egypt. Okay? The Middle East is Egypt. And we went up, you know. And this is the story. And they followed us, the Muslims and the Christians. They wanted to see where the people of the book lives. They did not follow our smell. They did not follow our music. They did not follow our dances or our preaching. They followed the star. The star showed them where we are. And this is the star that you and I, we have it in our foreheads. And this reveals the Bena Congo. Zimbabwe, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. This is Phaniah 3 and 10. Their culture and tradition bears witness to. Hallelujah. And one of the remarkable thing about them is their tzika. The word also found in Aramaic and Hebraic tzika, a term synonymous with high standards of Ubuntu or Hunhu, the high moral standards without which no wicked or immoral man will comfortably live among them. In South Africa, we know one of their tribes we call Mazanzuru, the Zezuru community. People who prefer being servants of no man, but people who works with their own hands, who fashion artifacts from wood and steel. Mostly Shabbat keepers, whose woman dresses in high modesty all the time, many times set apart and recognized by their dress code. Long white dresses with head coverings, showing forth their modesty. In Botswana, they also hold on their reputation, as you read below. Hallelujah. The values that underpin the norms of etiquette vary between cultures. Hence, native Zimbabweans often think that Varungu, white people, do not have Hungu or Ubuntu. This is because people outside of Zimbabwe often do not follow the same social rules that constitute Tsika. For example, the English-speaking West doesn't give the same amount of reverence and respect to people based on their age. Someone who does not act according to the Zimbabwean code of politeness and social appropriateness is considered to be without manners. Here in the Blue Letter Bible, Tsika, in Aramaic Tsika as well, you know. So you have here 1,006s. Now, means right doing, doing right or righteousness. Now, what means righteousness or right doing? Chigaka Fundisai, an elder of Mashavakur village, says legend has it that his ancestors brought the object from the Middle East. If you know the history of Congo, you will understand that we passed through Zimbabwe, and the prophets brought us into Zimbabwe, and we went to the southern part of Africa, to the Lemba, and always the prophet said, go, we have to go, we have to go. And everywhere we broke the covenant, by the way. One day I have to break this story down and people will be shocked. So, the Congo is the center. But all of sub-Saharan Africa is Israel. It means Berengwa, according to an oral tradition of the Remba ethnic group in Zimbabwe, hundreds of years ago, a brightly shining star kept safely in their village, protected the people. We call it Nyerendezi. The Shona language word for a star said Shikaga Fundisai. Slouching in a low wooden chair in the yard of his rural home, 400 kilometers south of Harare, the capital. It shone at night and provided the light in our lives. It also led us in war. We brought it down here from the Middle East. Hallelujah! A Gaborone taxi operator, Mpofu, who also sports the typical flourishing bird and bald head, makes an interesting observation. We teach our children when they are young. I tell them to bring the tool, and tomorrow they make little artifacts and eventually bigger ones. Hallelujah. Right now, if they do not touch or see timber or steel to fashion something out of, they do not feel very comfortable. They could even fall ill. The Zezuru of the Shona rootstock, they are a communal people who raise large families because the men take many wives. There is a law that limits the number of wives a man may have. You are free to marry any number of women so long as you take care of them, says Barnabas Mandumana, a priest in the mainly the Zulu denomination. The word of Yah in Africa on his people's tradition of polygamy. This is an elder, yeah, who's declaring all these things. And as you could see, the tradition of the Zimbabwean, it is Bantu. Okay? It is completely Bantu. Now, let us read. An average Sezuru girl is shown her future husband when she is just 12. Our old say a child must be shown a husband aged 12, so she can know that the husband, and when she is around 18, she gets married, says Sweet Zai Ndoluvu. He explains that they kept long beards and clean-shaven heads for identity, and that this way was an instruction from the church founder. Okay, church founder, whatever. You have to know all these things. We will break these things down, all this New Testament, Old Testament things. That Nzambe will give us the power by the Ruach to build a new, but not really new, old, new covenant. This means we will have the new and old laws together, and we'll filter the good and the bad things, and then we will also put kings over us. Everything will be new. Church founder. Now, the last two slides are taken specially about Mapo story and not Mazezuru. Okay. Also, the Lemba are only people in Zimbabwe who are an oral tradition tracing them for the Middle East. The rest have an oral tradition tracing from Guruswa, which is believed to be Tanganyika region, and Kalangas coming from the south of the Limpo from Mapungwe, which was the pre-Great Zimbabwe royal capital. Now, the message is that these are our brethren, and Zimbabwe is also opening for all of us. Let us go to some similarities to understand the importance of the Shona. Now, these are some similarities, by the way, you can read it by yourself, between Shona and Semitic languages. Okay? Now, for me, the first part is not so important. That's why I want to start with the second part. If I want to start with it, I have to start here. Now, as mentioned earlier, the word Adam is equivalent to the word Bantu, Vanhu. In ancient Hebrew philosophy, only righteous people with humanness were considered children of Adam. Yeah, that's why we always say son of man. No? You see here mankind. Yeah, that's why son of man. Yeah, son of the Adamites, humans. And the others are Neanderthals, whatever, we do not know. This is similar to Munhu, Nehunhu. One is considered human through humanness, concept which made way for such phrases, Mwana we wanhu, Mwana umuntu, son of man, you see? Or Mwana wa wari, yeah, son of God. That's why this is our name. This is where our name comes from. Okay, Bantu means human. Okay, and it's even given to us. We have only a name like this. Is also new. Bantu is also Eurocentric. You know. Yeah, this is our real name, like son of man, Bena Kongo, Bena of Yah, the children of Yah. You know. That's why Zimbabwe, Mozambique, everything you will find, these are the sons of God, you know. Even among the Hebrews, only the descendants of Abraham who followed his covenants were considered his children. Hallelujah! Like the Bantu Hebrew people associated their skin color and existence with the soil, Adam was called a son of the soil because mankind was made out of molded clay. In Zimbabwe, this Mwana Behu, sons of the soil concept remains strong as our people are still black and thus still resemble the soil. The same is not true for non-black Jews because they are not descendants of Israel but European converts to Hellenic Judaism. On the contrary, in Arabia, the concept of being children of the soil and Adam was embraced until long after the time of Prophet Muhammad. The Quran stresses the blackness of Adam, that of Abraham's descendants, in numerous verses. Abraham was the same race with Adam, so were his descendants the Ishmaelites and Israelites. The only descendants of Abraham who came out with the phenotype other than of his ancestors and kinsmen was Esau, who was opportunely named Red Edom and Hairy Esau. He went further to racially estrange his descendants from their ancestral phenotype by marrying multiple foreign wives, a thing strictly forbidden by Abraham. On the other hand, the descendants who kept Abraham's laws and covenants, the Israelites, intermarried among themselves or married Egyptians or Ethiopian women. Now, Abraham himself conceived Isaac with Sarah, his half-sister. Different mother, and Ishmael with Hagar, her Egyptian maid. Now, Isaac conceived Esau and Jacob with Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, Banabeto, son of Abraham, brother Nahor. And Jacob married Rachel and Leah, daughters of Laban, Rebekah's brother. Ishmael was also given an Egyptian wife, and all these efforts were a name to conserving the race Adam and Abraham. Now, this strict tribal intermarriage policy was inherited by African Hebrew groups like Ramba, who were only allowed and are still encouraged to marry other Africans besides members of their own tribe. According to the scriptures, Massa, Paula, Sephora, Jethro, and so on were Shemites and descendants of Abraham, but were mistaken for Hamites, Egyptians, and or Ethiopians. Abraham, Josephah, all Israel, and Yeshua, so Isaiah Komu, among others, would escape too and hide in Egyptian form from famine and hostility from northern groups like Canaanites, Greeks, and Romans in bid to blend in. This shows that the Israelites were indistinguishable from the Africans by mere visual inspections. This is similar to how the Ramba look no different from the rest of the Zimbabweans, though their history, culture, and genetics betray them as Shemites. Now, back to the linguistic connections. Notable Hebrew words with unquestionable similarities to Shona includes Ima, which means mother, and is similar to Amai, Abba, which means father, and is similar to Baba and Bani, which is plural for children, and similar to Vana. The Hebrew word for thanks is Toda, which is similar to the Shona word tenda. Tu tondele in Kikongo, tonda. Words like Barak, meaning bless, and salam, meaning peace in Hebrew, are used in Remba poetry in Shona, sounding forms like Baraka and Samaru, respectively. At this juncture, the name Zao, which is used as last name by the Remba, predates other names and titles such as Va Mueni, foreigners, Van Shabi, Sabians traders, Van Lungu, lords, Van Soni, masons, and so on. However, it does not have its origin in Shishona as it often assumed. The Remba had no totem culture when they entered Africa. The totem culture was and continues to be exclusively a Zimbabwean trait that is not as evident in neighboring countries like Mozambique, Malawi, Zambia, South Africa, and Botswana. But because the name Zao is similar to that of the Zao Zamanyanga lineage in the Shi-Karanga dialect, which use the elephant totem, many wrongly assume that the two are the same. In Arabia, we find many similarities between Shemitic and Bantu languages, particularly in the terms of grammar. The prefix mu, which indicates the person affected or doing an act in typical Bantu languages like Shona, is very much evident in Arabic. For example, the word of struggle is jihad. And to say the one who struggles in Arabic, one simply says Mujahidin. This is similar to how in Shona we say Murimi to describe one who farms rima for a living. There is also a connection between Arabic Shona and the way words transform to suit the context in which they are spoken. In Arabic, Shanada means testimony. To say he was testified in Arabic, one says wa shadua, which would be said as a shadura in Shona. Many of the foreign words in the Remba ancestral language, greetings and names, are Arabic and or Hebrew in origin and continue to be used among indicated Varemba. Some words, however, came out to the Shona linguistic arsenal and were imported into Arabic. For example, the Arabic word for lion is suma. This was derived from shumba and can be found in the names like Osama, meaning the lion. Similarly, in Sanskrit, lion is called simha, and this was derived from simba, which is lion in Swahili. In China, it is called shi, which also hints to an African origin of the word. This makes sense because lions can only be found in their natural states in Africa. Thus, the retention of the Bantu name for lion in different parts of Asia. This is similar to how the word munhu, meaning human, was exported by the earliest inhabitants of Asia who used it to refer to themselves. They were blacks and flourished in Southeast Asia and are remembered as the moon who ruled the Nkrumah dynasty. Asian words like monastery and monsoon, among others, were derived from this word Munhu. Nkrumah may have been derived from Kham, which means hum, nations. Swahili is a derivative from an Eastern Bantu language resembling Shishona, Kirundi, Kinyarwanda, Shinkushwekwa, and Semitic language of Arabia. Yes, salama, brothers and sisters, a little break. I want to show you a woman. Her name is Johny John. She's a Shona and she's doing a very, very great work. And she has started this work many years ago. Many years ago. And I have also watched a lot of her movies. Because if you see this Kimpavita spirit, you have to push this Kimpavita spirit, because she's really doing fine. She's really doing a good work, you know. And I would like you, if you want to know more about the Shona, if you want to know more about the feasts, calendars, you see, she have everything here. Let us go a little bit deeper to her movies. Many people are watching. You see, many people are watching. She have amazing movies here, amazing revelations, and you see, she's really talking about the Kosa, the Shona, and about marriages. She even talks about the alien races. Yeah. Here. So she's amazing. So, hey, you have to know. We are talking here about a strong woman, no? People always think, oh, a woman. What can a woman do to me? The woman was the ones that was building the house of Elah, you know. No. We have to put our women's high, you know. And these are you see here 10,000 views. These are the videos that make her very. These are the 12 tribes of Israel, original Bantu names, etc. These are very amazing videos, and this makes Johny John to become big. You know? You see, 5 years. 5 years. My channel is 1 year old. This woman is amazing, huh? Wow. Hey, thank you, Johny John. Thank you for everything you are doing. I hope everyone will watch your movies and calling you and supporting you, asking you, because people want to go to Zimbabwe, they want to go to the southern part of Africa. Invite us, we will come. My name is Mikhael Massa, and I'm supposed to come to visit you, and then maybe you have some connection in the Zimbabwe or something like that. Let us go to the promised land. This is the promised land. It is the promised land. It is Tatan Zambi's land. Yeah. Yeah. You are a very interesting person. I think you have studied or something like that. You are smart, because the work is saying that here, that you are smart, that you have learned something. But the Tatan Zambi gave you something, and you are really doing the work with all the power. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, these are the Shona people, brothers and sisters. They are Israelites. Okay, and we can prove it so easy. The scriptures are showing us everything about the Shona. And read this. Similarities between Shona and Semitic languages, And also this is very important because of the Ethiopians and Arabic. Let us read a little bit more about that. Because they are all in the east, and there's Rwanda, Mozambique, Zambia. Now, you have to know that the Arabians went there to enslave them. This emulsification of languages took place at the Swahili coast, which is located at the easternmost point of Southeast Sub-Saharan Africa, and it close proximity to Arabia. Trade, travel, intermarriage, and other forms of social interaction between the inhabitants of the region led to emergence of Swahili. This shows of how harmonic a Shemitic language can blend into a Hamitic one. Now we find words like peace being spoken as saramu from the Arabic salam, instead of more authentic Bantu words like rugari, yet Bantu words like maoko, hands, and Lingala maboko, kuono, sing, mbwa, dog. You see, they are our people. Oh, they are our people. I tell you, we are the same people. These are our people. I told you, I have to say to make the video about how we went out from Ikipita. Yeah, and end of this movie we will even hear the song. Because Zimbabwe is there where we stayed. Normally we will stay there, but because we never heard Tatanzambi, because we always was doing sacrifices to other gods, we never stopped. He brought it into the Congo. And they followed us there, these Gentiles. Congo is the heart of Africa. Zimbabwe was only a place we stayed for a time. Now, and most striking links between Semitic and Hamitic language is in the Ethiopic script, which is used for writing Gizi, Amharic and Tigrinya. The writing is straight out of the Sabaic script of ancient Southern Arabia. Sabaic can be seen on the walls of the Mashima site in Mapungubwe, South Africa. This site was built in approximately 700 CE, and its construction predates the Great Zimbabwe by 3 centuries. The existence of writings at that time debunks the lie that Africans were literary till the coming of white. Sabaic was derived from Paleo or Phoenician Hebrew, and its predecessor Proto-Shemitic script. It predates classical square or Aramaic Hebrew. Ethiopia adaptations of Hebrew writings in approximately 1000 BCE came along with the Hebrew lineage. Menelik, son of Solomon, and Makeda. Makeda was the 10th queen of Ethiopia, Africa besides Egypt, and Sheba, Arabia. Names like Yah, the short version of the Hebrew names of Tatanzambi, and the Ark of the Covenant were also among the Hebrew things that were absorbed by Ethiopia. The Ark was called Zion by the Ethiopians and Lungundu, the lords, by the ancestors of the Ramba who lived in Sabah, southern Arabia. In fact, the Yemen was derived from Amin, which is Arabic for trust. This was because, according to the Ethiopian tradition, Sabah is the only other place the ark was set beside Aksum in Ethiopia. Aksum was also named Zion after the ark because the Ethiopians had a woolly Bantu language prior to the coming of the Hebrew people. They modified the script to suit the Ethiopians' alphabet. Like Shona, Ethiopic words are typically made up of consonants like B, C, D, F, G, and the vowel ends A, I, etc., etc. Ethiopic also has complex words components like mbwa, ntswa, and ngwe, which can hardly be found in other languages besides the Shona. Now, these they write in ancient Hebrew characters which have been allocated logical forward markers. However, even after thousands of years, it is easy to see the Hebrew origins of the Ethiopic script. It has only gotten richer with time, and it is more authentic than modern Hebrew, which is essentially Aramaic. Ethiopic is the most adaptable writing for Shona or any other Bantu language. So, thank you very much. Now, let's go to our song and close this preaching. Now, let me write Egypt. What do you give me for Egypt? Here is it. I love that song. The song talks about how we went out of Egypt, and amazing, huh? They are talking that Massa, the prophet, took them out of slavery, and the Most High promised them to take them out of Egypt, and they should go to the promised land. They should go to the promised land, a land flowing with gloriness and milk and honey, you know. Zilan kiese, kiese mukiese. Yes. I will see you soon, brothers and sisters.